live.
What did he say?
Good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. Welcome to House Hall Report. Tonight, we've got the fence guy, Billy, in the house. How you doing, Billy?
Doing good, guys. Bear down.
And we got Woody. How you doing, Woody? I like the caption there is appropriate.
Of course. Another fucking loss. I'm happy.
Mike, the Bear fans here doing some stuff in the background. We'll see him in a few minutes. Of course, I'm me. And just so you know, Connor Bedard has more points in his first NHL season than the Bears have wins. Just thought I'd mention it because last week, y'all missed my tagline was that the Bears signed Connor Bedard. No one said anything on Wednesday or Sunday until like in the second quarter of the game. Someone said, hey, wait a minute. Doesn't that guy play for the Blackhawks? Yeah, he does. Oh. So another week, another loss. Well, I shouldn't say it that way because we came off a win with a bunch of steam thinking, yeah, we might actually win something. And then we lose to the Minnesota Vikings. So we'll just jump right into it. Here are the stats from this last week. I mean, the Bears dominated this, guys. They dominated the stats except for the score. I mean, yeah, another game. You know, this isn't the first time we've done well in the stat column, but not in the score. Oh, we lost Woody. Not the score column. I mean, we've seen this a few times, haven't we?
Yep, sure have.
So I don't know how we overcome that, but it was another game of I don't know. I just don't know what to say about this team. We're going to get more into this here, but at least I guess we can have some good news today. It's the coach's birthday today. Happy birthday, Aaron Mike.
Happy birthday, Doc Coach.
Doc Coach. He's getting up there. What is he, 80-something now, isn't he? Hey, good evening, Bear Down Mike.
Yeah, he's
hey, Bear Down Mike said something the other day. I'll address it later, Mike. I got to remember your comment, but I meant to reach out to you. Can Bedard play quarterback? We need one. No, he can't. He just turned 18, and he plays hockey for the Hawks, so I don't think he's what we're looking for at quarterback. But speaking of quarterbacks, our quarterback got injured.
We don't got to worry. We got the answer coming up this weekend.
Yeah. Dislocated thumb. I would say he's going to be out this week. Comes to grip strength. Honestly, I'd rather just see him get healthy. And if he has to sit 2 weeks, then sit 2 weeks. If you have to wait till after the bye, then wait till after the bye. At this point, I don't see a reason to rush him back. Do you?
No. I mean, look at our record. Why would we rush it back?
No rush. Plus, let's see what Tyson Bates can do.
I mean, and I don't mind getting Tyson some reps, some experience to see if he's going to be the backup, a good backup for the next couple of years to come. I don't think we're going to move on from Justin Fields this season after the season. So for me, I'm just thinking it's more, let's see if this is the big guy we want to be our backup behind Justin for the next couple years. I just don't see us moving on. And I know there are some people out there, like what Bear Down Mike just said, well, what if he goes on a streak and wins? And some people, let's see what the kid can do, make him the kid of the future, and they're making it this Fields versus pageant. But there's no reason to, guys. There's no reason. I mean, look at the end of the day, they're teammates. They want to see each other do well. Neither of them wants to see the other get hurt, right? whichever guy's under center, we're going to cheer for, and they're cheering for each other. So, it's just going to come down to what does Ryan Poles think he's going to do. And look, I think Badgett is shown he can be a good quarterback. But, Mike, I don't see him supplanting Fields, even if he goes on a 2-game mini win streak.
I don't think so either. I mean, I want to see what he can do. You know what I mean? I don't feel like it's our quarterbacks is an issue. I point the finger at the coaching staff personally, more to Eberflus than anything.
Yeah, well, speaking of coaching, oh my God, we got a defense. Now, we didn't hire him as a defensive coordinator, defensive analyst. Billy, what the hell does this mean?
That means we're going to suck again.
I mean, and let's be honest. I mean, I thought
come on now.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, I thought the defense played a lot better last week. They've been playing better every week. If there's anything that we can point to on this Bears team success-wise, is that I think the defense has improved from week to week to week. So what do we need a defensive analyst for?
I mean, we also played a shitty-ass team.
I don't know. Maybe Eberflus is going to give up the play calling, and he'll do that. I mean, can't do any worse.
I mean,
the defense have been playing good, but I mean, our linebackers, minus our linebackers have been stout all year.
I mean, I think the linebacking core and the secondary core have been pretty good. The front four, they're applying pressure. They're just not able to finish the job. They're getting close. They're just not. So, I mean, I see promise. So I guess we'll just, is this Eberflus's last season? What do you guys think? Give us some comments. Billy, what do you think?
Yep.
Yep.
I hope so, man. I'm ready to move him, get him out. Let's get something back in, man. This ain't nothing new. I've already seen this before. Let's go.
Well, I said it to Ken and Woody before the show started. Like, do you know who the worst coach is by percentage-wise in the franchise? Eberflus at a .17. You know who's behind him? Huh? Yeah, he's the worst. But before that, it was Abe Gibran, which was 11, 30, and 1, and he only coached for 3 years. So, yeah, I think this is his last year. I think we'd fire him right now if we didn't need a defensive coordinator, and stuff like that.
I don't know. I mean, I think I don't know about Eberflus. The defense, he's a defensive guy. If the defense kind of turns a corner and is putting up decent numbers, I think he may be saved because then he can turn around and say, well, my OC sucked. So it's just an OC problem, and his OC does suck. I mean, this OC is freaking terrible. The four of us can do a better job than our current OC. So Eberflus can just go, hey, Poles, my OC, we got to get rid of him and get me a good OC, and we'll be good for year 3. I think he might try to use that as a little bit of an out to kind of save himself for a third year.
I don't think he can save his job personally. I mean, 4-19.
He might get his job saved because I'm going to have hope, and I'm going to say that secret Bajan man's going to come in and tear it up for us, man. That's my hope.
Well, I'm hoping with you, Billy.
Hey, Billy, I think we're all hoping for some Bears wins, but do you think – okay, so if he comes in, Billy, and wins 3 or 4 games, does that save Eberflus's job?
Should we go night-nights?
No.
Nope.
It probably will. I mean, it's going to suck, but it probably will.
Yeah, see, I like bear down Mike. Eberflus is a good DC, just a bad head coach. And I kind of agree with that. Like, the guy, good DC, just didn't – it's not translating. So, I mean, I don't know. I could go into the depth charts and all that, but, we've got on both sides of the ball, I think we have the talent. We just need good coaching. I mean, yeah, and we're going to
Three
get more
screens in
draft.
a row ain't gonna work.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Amen.
look, if the season ended today, here's a draft order.
No, we're not getting another basketball fucking school quarterback.
Well, see, as you brought it up, Woody, if
Dude,
we
that
pick
guy's gonna
1,
not
2,
come out. He's gonna stay another year in college.
well, I don't even think we're drafting. Do any of you guys think we draft a quarterback 1 or 2?
Nope.
No, I say, like I said, get the Marvin
hope
Harrison
not.
Jr. and an edge rusher.
Well, with Poles, if we end up with the 1-2, he's going to trade one of those away, guaranteed.
Well, we'll still have a first rounder, two
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
rounders.
1 or 2.
Well, I think he would like a team like Arizona or maybe even Vegas would try to get to the number 1 and pull that kid from USC who wants part ownership of whatever team drafts him. Which, by the way, that story is true. That Caleb Williams is floating it out there. Whatever team drafts him has to give him an ownership stake. Now, here's what he doesn't know. Aaron Rodgers tried to do that when he renegotiated his contract with the Jets, and the NFL shut that down because it's not legal under NFL rules for a player to have part ownership in the team.
And that's what I said. That's
I could see the Bears trading out of number 1, taking another haul, and for a team that wants to draft that kid number 1, a quarterback, and then number 2, you take Marvin Harrison Jr., and then whatever pick we get in the first round after that would be an edge rusher. That's what I could see them doing.
And Steve just said it. That's my coach for next year. Watch out. Ben Johnson wants to go somewhere. We'll see where he goes.
Ooh, but in the division?
Hey, who the hell knows? Trade players, might as well give coaches away too.
Well, let's look at the injury report as we look at forward to this next game against the Vegas Raiders. Oh, I almost don't want to do this, but here we go. There we go. Oh my goodness, is that the whole list?
So far,
It
it's only Wednesday.
It's only Wednesday. Yeah, we don't even know who's like. I've got a flu bug.
Yep, sniffles.
So Roshan being out for a second week on concussion protocol kind of throws up a flag to me. You would think he'd be back off that by now.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And I seen Nate Davis's injury. It'll be pretty surprising if he plays Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I just.
And I think we're second in the league in false starts on offense.
Yeah, that's something we've got to get better on. We were better last year than we were this year on those penalties, and we're taking a lot of bad penalties this year.
Kellen Moore, my goodness.
So we got a lot of guys out this week. So injuries have played. So I'm sure the Flus will say, "Oh, look at my injuries," but hey, next man up. Look what happened. With the running back situation, I'm not worried. Look what happened. We ran for 169 yards or something like that last week. I mean, we still ran well.
Gave up half that.
Yep.
I mean, when we go back up to the stats here, hold on. Rushing yards, 162.
They only got 46.
Yeah. And that was next man up mentality. I don't play the whole injury thing. I look at Luke Getsy's got to go. I think they fire him this week. If we don't play well this week, if the offense keeps sputtering, Badgett or not, I don't know. I mean, Getsy's maybe the only reason he didn't get fired is because Fields got hurt last week. But I think Getsy's got to be the first person fired. Like, get this clown out of here.
To answer Bear Down Mike about Feeney, is that he was having trouble snapping the ball, and you've seen that, I think, in week 2. He came in the cover, and snap was terrible. So maybe that has an issue with it too, but he's not starting.
Yeah, hey, Steve is real. Yeah, I don't think we're taking a quarterback, dude.
Bo Nix.
Yeah, we're not. I don't think we're taking a quarterback in the first round.
Bo Nix.
Well, let me go around the panel here. Woody, do you think we're taking a quarterback in the first round?
Well, it depends on Justin Fields. I mean, his injury, and when he comes back, if he takes a shit, maybe. But if he comes back out of injury, and you got to think, last week Tyson was the only one that led a tough touchdown drive, and he had the touchdown. And Fields didn't do shit before he got injured. So if he comes back on injury and, throws for 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns in each game, no, I don't see that. But if he comes back from that injury and takes a shit, you never know. You never know. But Bo Nix is my answer. Thank you.
It's not going to happen because Tyson Bagent is going to be the man.
So you think he had the cases of the rookie turnovers on Sunday, right, Billy?
Did you hear his press conference, Woody?
That was it, man. He got thrown into the mix. It was all nuts, and shit happens. But he's gonna have a full practice with the team. He's gonna learn them starters, and I'm telling you, you're gonna see a different kid, man.
And
if I'm wrong, I'll be
he's
here talking about how wrong I am. But I'm right. You heard it from me. The defense guy and a quarterback.
Hey, he's gonna see a lot of Max Crosby on Sunday.
Yeah, Max Crosby. I mean, the man who
look at him like, "Ooh, he almost had me, but I got the ball out already."
Hey, Matt Crosby literally ended the game last week with a safety. I mean, that dude is, that dude is good. So, let's get into this week's game a little bit. Guys, let us know, who do you think is going to do better? Battle of the backups, Brian Hoyer, the journeyman, or Tyson, the undrafted free agent rookie? Let us know in the comments, who do you think will have a better game? And I'll go to Woody on this one first, because we already know where Billy stands.
Well, I mean, look at Hoyer played for how many? He played for 32 teams. He played for 32 teams, Hoyer. But I like the way he plays the game, Hoyer. I thought he was, pretty good. But when Billy said that Tyson practiced with the whole team, I'm not worried about the quarterback so much. I'm worried about the running backs. They got Josh Jacobs. He's an okay runner. He can bust a hole, and if he gets open, forget it. But I think Tyson's going to have a better backup game than Hoyer.
Billy?
Oh, we already know his answer.
I know.
He's on a lag.
He said, repeat the question.
I am on a lag. I think so. But, I'm doing Tyson Bagent. I had his jersey on in Denver for the Denver game all the way. I'm telling you, I see something in this kid.
I see his tattoos. That's about it.
Yeah. Mike, Mike might be doing some things in the background. We'll move on to the next interesting one. Who's gonna have the better game? Devontae Adams or DJ Moore? What do you got, Billy?
Ooh.
DJ Moore, baby. DJ Moore, because Bagent's gonna get him open one-on-one.
Wow.
How about you, Woody?
I like DJ Moore too. I mean, even Devontae Adams with Garoppolo, he ain't doing shit this year. So I don't think he's going to do shit with Hoyer either.
Yeah, I think DJ is a little more. He's more yak. Like, you can do the short stuff that he's just going to break. Devontae hasn't really shown that this year. He's just more of a downfield guy. He's not doing the yard after the catch stuff.
Well, that's the bear down, Mike. That's the question. Can any offensive line stop Max Crosby? That's like going up against Nick Bosa. He's all over the field. He'll line up everywhere on that on that defensive line, and I call it. He's going to have at least a sack and a half, 2 sacks this game. Clearly, no doubt.
But it goes even further, Woody, because you look at this last game, the very first play from scrimmage,
sack.
Getsy has a protection package out there that has 5 guys blocking 8.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, first freaking play from scrimmage. And you know what's even worse is the dude didn't make any adjustments, it looked like, the entire game.
And that was the question before week 1 started. How many audibles will Justin Fields call? That should have been an audible. Maybe get some wide receivers in closer, chip those extra defenders, and then go out for the pass. But, yeah, no adjustments, first play sack.
I hate to say it, but Chase Claypool was right. The coaches do not put these players in a position for to have the best opportunity. Claypool said it. It cost him his job in Chicago. It cost us trading him for next to nothing because he said what he said. But you know what? He said what he was said, and he was right.
Yep.
I mean, how much more gets he? Yeah, do we even want to predict this game, or are we going to wait till Sunday to predict it? Do we want to predict?
I'm going to wait till Sunday, but I know who I'm picking. I know who I'm picking.
Yeah, I mean,
it does. Even though we said Tyson's, I think, is going to have the better game. DJ Moore is going to have the better game, but their defensive line is going to eat ours up.
Yeah, bear down, Mike. So dead on with this. I mean, I just don't know why this dude still has a job this week. I really don't. How does this dude still have a job in Chicago? I think here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start a petition to make Billy the new OC of the Chicago Bears. That's what we're gonna do.
And I'm gonna take his old football helmet, and I'm gonna be the DC.
There we go.
Plain and simple. You're lucky that I don't know if and here's the answer. I don't know if I'm going to be picking the Bears the rest of the year. I maybe against Carolina, but look how they came out and played against Miami, but they got shelled. But we're going to get swept by Detroit. Minnesota, we play in Minnesota. We can't beat them there. We play Green Bay the last game in Green Bay. I don't know. I don't know if I'll pick them again this year.
Yeah, Steve asked a good question about Devontae Adams. Is he even okay? And that's a good question because he hasn't looked like 100% this year.
Nope.
And he's been getting smacked around a little bit. So we'll see. I mean,
yeah, but if Jimmy G can't go, I mean, look, he's got Hoyer, so that's not looking too promising.
No, I mean, I hate to say that this is unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, because you always want the Bears to win. But this is one of those games because Jimmy G is out, because Devontae's not playing well, because they can't run the football worth a damn in Vegas right now. The Bears actually have a chance this week, even with Luke Getsy calling bullshit all day. I think it's just because, we got a little hype because we got the undrafted free agent rookie starting. The Bears actually do have a chance this week, but I don't know how Getsy still has a job. I get why Eberflus still has a job. I get that a little bit because the defense has been making improvements. The offensive line has made improvements. The team overall, even though the score isn't being represented by the score, you can see improvement overall in the team, even though we're still losing. I think the big glaring middle finger to Bears fans right now is the offensive coordinator. But so I can understand why our head coach still has a job. I don't understand why our offensive coordinator has one.
And I compare the Raiders to Minnesota. Subtract their starting quarterback. They got, Madison's not doing good, but Josh Jacobs is okay. He's better than Madison. We all agree on that, I hope. They have I said last week before the game started that KJ Osborne, he's doing shit. Well, he did pretty good against us last week. So, and their defensive line schemes and stuff like that. So this is going to be a game like last week. I think turnovers will be the key this week for this game.
Yeah, and we lost that battle. And speaking of that, is Bear Down Mike. Look, it gets he can't ask the rookie QB to play hero. Just manage the game and don't turn over the ball, right? Make it easy for him, please. No more back screens. Now, the interesting thing, I saw a quote today where our rookie quarterback told him, "Don't change the game plan because it's me. Like, I can handle whatever you're going to do." And they're like, "Yeah, we already know." I mean, we know this kid's smart. We know he's got talent. We know he's calm under pressure, but he gave a strip sack, or he got stripped for a touchdown and the game-ending interception. And I don't know, he took. Now, the thing I liked about him, though, he owned that interception.
Oh yeah,
He's like, "Yeah, I underthrew it," but actually, when you look at the replay, he was getting hit as he threw. So, but he didn't use it as an excuse. So I like that, and I'll make the excuse for him. He didn't get everything he wanted. He couldn't follow through and move forward with the ball. He was getting hit as he threw, so it was short. But we can't ask him to do everything.
And more was open.
Yeah, he had more. Yeah, and then hey, I like to see this here. Thank you, Steve, so much for hitting subscribe and hitting the like button. If you do it on Mike the Bear Fan on Facebook, we're getting close to our 10,000 member. We have some giveaways coming up with that, and some things that we're giving away in that, as well as the monthly. So please, subscribe and hit the like button on YouTube, on Facebook, or whatever platform you see us on. We do appreciate it. We just have fun doing this. We enjoy doing this. We do this every Wednesday night at about 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern, and then every Sunday morning for the pregame at 11:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern. We come on for about a half hour before the game, and then we do play the Bears games, whether they be the early, late, or otherwise, on this platform as well. So thank you for that, Steve. Yeah, I mean, you gotta ask this rookie to just manage the game. You gotta ask him to be Kyle Orton, really, if you think about it. We were talking about this last week. Kyle Orton is rookie year won 10 games. Got votes for rookie of the year. Got the Bears to the playoffs, and he got no respect. But all you gotta do is be Kyle Orton, and you'll win games in this league. Okay. Steve says he doesn't have Facebook. I got you, man. But thank you for the like and subscribe on YouTube. We appreciate it. We definitely appreciate it. I don't know, fellas. I mean, Mike? What do you think? What are you looking for, I should say, in this next game? Let's not talk about who's going to win, who's going to lose. What are you looking for either way in this game?
I just want the play calling to be better, like you said. Play calling's been horrible.
Yeah, that's my dud. That play calling again.
Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. We won't hold this against you, Steve. We like our friends up north that eat cheese.
Hey, there's a couple. I got a couple top followers that are strictly Packer fans, actually.
Yeah, and we haven't had much to talk about the Pack since week 1. We're saving it, but actually he's a Packers fan, so we'll do him a little service here. They had the bye week. They got the same issues in Green Bay, kind of as we have in Chicago to some degree. Maybe not as bad because I don't know if Luke Getsy making the call. But, Green Bay is not a great place. We're not in a great place. Minnesota's not in a great place. At the season end of the day, the NFC North holds 4 of the top 9 picks in the NFL draft. The Lions may be 5-1. They've only beaten one team with a winning record, and that was Kansas City in week 1 without Jones, without Kelsey. So how good is the NFC North right now?
It's not like the black and blue division like we used to be.
No. For me, coming into this game, I'm looking for better play calling out of Getsy or for him to be fired. I'm also looking for the defense to keep making that progression. I think the linebacking core has been solid. They're not getting a lot of hay in the media, whether it be Chicago media or otherwise, but they have been putting in the work, and the secondary has too. But I'd like to see the secondary tighten it up a little bit because it looks like they haven't been as bulletproof as they were last year. I noticed that Brisker's was getting thrown at a lot more last week, and he was getting beat. So I like
Mm-mm-mm.
I like to see Brisker step back to form. And I like to see the D line, especially on the interior, finally get some pressure on a quarterback. Like they've been so close this season. And everyone after watching, we had 5 sacks against the most sacked team in the NFL. You should. We didn't even touch Kirk Cousins last week.
Not once.
And to correct you, Ken, Detroit beat 2 teams over 5. They beat Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, they did. Okay, Tampa Bay is over 500. My bad. Yeah. My bad. Yeah, and I swear, and they made like, oh my God, there were 25,000 Lions fans in Tampa, and I was like, and we
but you
traveled
gotta
so
give them a
well.
little credit. They've literally, I don't think they've ever been in this situation. So I mean, let them pump their chests out, let them feel proud.
And the Bears did have 2 sacks last week.
I just don't remember. I guess it was just that unmemorable of a game.
It was a sack and 2 people split, right?
Edwards had one, and Brisker and Walker had the other.
So did they give Edwards the one where he forced it? No, it wouldn't be a sack because he forced interception. So, but we're still not getting it from the line though. We're getting it from other places.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, I did say I wanted to see those more cornerback blitzes and stuff like that. And last 2 games they have been.
Yeah, let me see Tyreek Stevenson screaming in from the corner, right? God, that guy can hit. But if anyone's ever been to Tampa Bay for any kind of sporting event, any team from any town that's got any kind of following does well there. I've been to the Chicago Blackhawks game in Tampa for a regular season game and for the Stanley Cup, and it's always a 50-50 crowd for hockey. For Bears games, there's always 20, 25,000 Bears fans there. Tampa, by the way, is also a place where a lot of people from Chicago, Detroit, and Green Bay reside, that have moved there from those areas. But yeah, you're right, Mike. Give them a little credit. They haven't been in this position before, since 1991, maybe. So give them a little bit. This week though, going back to us, the Lions are the only team in the division with any kind of good record, got anything going. The rest of the division is terrible, and for us, I want to see some improvement. I don't care if we lose by 3 scores, as long as I see some kind of improvement that I can, hang my hat on and say, okay, this here is getting corrected, right? I mean, you can't expect, and I can't expect the defense like last week. The defense did yeoman's work. The offense gave up 16 points. 16 points were created off turnovers of their 19. 16 were off turnovers, right? So I can't blame the defense. But I don't. So in that situation, like, okay, at least the defense playing better. I can hang my hat. Now I need to fix the offense.
Yep.
And that's kind of what I'm looking at for this game against the Raiders. And if the O-line can make it so Crosby doesn't get a sack, for me, that's a win.
Yeah, like I said about, when we went out and, beat up Washington on Thursday night, both our defense and offense were consistent. Like I said, it can't be offense way off the charts 100% and defense be down, or vice versa. It's got to be consistent. Got to be working at, you're playing as a team, fucking do it. But like last week, it's our defense, I think played good. Like Ken said, 16 points, off turnovers and stuff like that. Really, our defense only gave up 3 points. If you think about it. But yeah, this week with that Raiders defensive line with Max Crosby, I mean, holy shit, just got to beware.
Well, you know what made me mad, Woody, is Washington has a good defensive line, and they played really good against a very good Washington defensive line.
Yep.
Arguably, you could say maybe top 10 defensive line in the league.
Yep.
And then last week against one of the worst defenses in the league, they couldn't do anything. No. I mean, and Rob was on here even telling us, they're going to blitz every down.
And they did.
And they did. And it said that even Rob knew better than Getsy what was coming.
I mean, that first play of the game when Fields got sacked, I said in my head, I said, fucking Rob. He was right. So Rob, yes, you were right.
I'm trying to see what he's saying. What BD? Who have the other 5-1 teams really been? Be no bun.
have the other 5-1 teams really be
Beaten? I think it means beaten. Yeah, that's a good question. KC,
Philly?
yeah.
Well, Philly and San Francisco now.
No, this year though, who are they beaten? Like, well, I'm trying to think of who they individually like. Miami beat Carolina this week. They shelled them.
Uh-huh.
They lost the week before that, right? No, I'm trying to think who they did beat.
Who? Miami?
Miami. Who have they beaten this year?
Well, they beat Denver 70-20. They beat Carolina. Yeah. They lost to Buffalo. They got hammered.
All right. This year, they beat the Chargers 36-34, the Patriots 24-17. They put up 70 in the Dolphins. They got crushed by the Bills.
Yep.
They beat the Giants 31-16, and they beat the Panthers 42-21.
So you got to really think that Miami only beat one team over 500.
Yeah,
and that's unless whatever the Chargers record was, but I don't think they were at 500.
And San Fran, well, we know they beat the Cowgirls.
Yep. They beat the Rams, didn't they?
Yep.
No, that's too many teams to think about. I'm not fucking ESPN here. I just give my opinion.
Let me see. Okay, so who the Chiefs have beaten? The Chiefs have beat the Broncos, the Vikings,
us,
the Jets, the Jaguars. The Jaguars are a good team.
Yep.
And they lost to the Lions 21-20.
Yep, and that's without Kelsey and Jones.
And Jones. Okay, the next 5-1 team. We have to go to the NFC, back to the NFC. The Eagles.
The Sheagles, yep.
Yep, Sheagles, as you like to call them, correct.
Yep.
They lost this week.
Yep.
The Jets. Beat the Rams, beat the Commanders, beat the Buccaneers, beat the Vikings, and beat the Patriots.
So they won more, beat teams over 500. And I want to point this out. They should have lost to the Redskins on that no call in overtime. That was bullshit. Washington should have beat Philly that game.
So, this is good. Had the best coaches in the league until Fields called them out.
Yeah. Best coaches. Wow.
That's a funny thing. Isn't that the funny thing?
Fields calls them out, and he doesn't get suspended, but Claypool gets the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was just saying that. And then someone said here, I think sooner or later Goff and the Lions are going to falter. I was on the morning show with Russell. I said, look, if Goff was in this Bears offense, he would be getting killed. He said, oh, no, Goff would be killing it still right now. I'm like, no.
Wow.
You put almost any quarterback in this offense right now with this play calling we're getting, they're getting shellacked. It's not that Justin Fields doesn't have the talent. Is that this play calling is atrocious.
Well, yeah, and then plus the Lions have a top 5 offensive line.
Yeah. Yeah, but Woody, if you think about it, though, like the only guy who holds the ball longer is Mahomes. So he's holding it 5, 6, 7 seconds. You would think if the plays in the scheme were good, guys would be getting open enough for him to throw, but they're not.
Well, you got to think of Mahomes is getting most of his passes, touchdown passes, when he's out of the pocket.
Yeah.
But their offensive line keeps working until that fucking whistle blows. If Justin Fields gets out of that pocket, it's like our offensive linemen give up and they start chasing them.
And we didn't really see them move the pocket too much. Like, as good as we were running last week, I'm surprised we didn't see more run play action.
Yeah, I seen those a couple design runs that Fields had, and he got crushed on a couple of them. But like I said, one of the reasons that killed us last week was Kirk Cousins play action pass. I'm telling you, best in the league.
Yeah. We didn't do enough of it. We ran the ball well, had next to zero play action.
Yep.
I don't know, man. It's just, I'm not frustrated with the team as much as I am. I feel frustrated for the players because I see the talent level that we have on this team, and the coaching has just completely let them down 100%.
And Cole Kmet was invisible last week. It's like the week before he had 2 touchdowns, and I think, don't quote me on this, he had 9 yards last week.
Yeah. Well, the tight end core in general. I mean, there were very few balls. Let me go back to the stats.
Yeah, Tanyan had 1 catch for 11 yards. He had more catches or more yards than Kmet did.
Yeah. I mean, let me see. We only had 113 passing yards between the 2 quarterbacks. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
And, and we don't use our weapons. I think Moore had 1 or 2 catches.
He had 8 catches. He had 5 catches for 51 yards.
Okay, he had 1 big one, and it must have been a bunch of small ones then.
So did Mooney. Mooney had 2 catches for 48 yards.
Mooney had a nice catch to start off the day. But then it was like we didn't see him anymore, really. I don't know what's going on. I mean, look, we all knew this was a 2-year process. I get it. The question is, can the coaching withstand this process of this year, next year? And center play, I think Lucas Patrick, it was nice to see him back, but I think he was on a pitch count. Because Cody Whitehair took a lot of snaps, and those were the snaps that were going high, going wide, doing whatever. And I think, in all fairness to Cody Whitehair, moving him around in game is probably not the easiest transition. But if I would say with Lucas Patrick, either you played him the whole game, or you just don't play him at all. You don't put your center on a pitch count.
No. Can't be fluctuating that offensive line around.
Yeah, I thought that was unfair, and it made it harder on our center, on the quarterbacks to receive the ball from the center. So yeah, I didn't like that at all. I wish we'd use Kmet more.
Actually, when we lost in the play calling and shit like that, my studs were on offense, and I ragged on him all year. But Velus Jones had a hell of a special teams. He had, I think, 90 yards total on kickoff returns. And of course, Santos, still perfect this year in field.
So wait, your stud is Santos?
I have to say, I was going to say my studs was the rushing game.
Okay.
It was the rushing game. But you know how I pick out of the box. My stud would be Santos or Velus Jones on those special teams yards. Like I said, I think he has 90 yards on kickoff returns last week.
With 3.
So 30-yard average. Way to go. And no fumble, you fuck.
Woody, Mike is trying to show you and me up. He came out in with a graphic for his stud and dud. There's Mike's studs and duds.
And the only reason why I said Fields was a dud is he should have just took the sack instead of trying to throw it away and hurt that arm. He would have still been in.
Yeah.
And Edwards is the or is it Edwards or Edmonds you have there?
Edwards.
And
he only had
number 2 tackler in the league.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm used to seeing Edwards at like 16 tackles. You got Edmonds had a big interception as well. But last week, I think the most tackler was with 7 tackles. And I don't know. I don't know.
Well, man. I'm going to lead off with my dud, and my dud's going to be pretty obvious with Getsy. The offensive coordinator is my dud because the guy couldn't lead his offense out of a wet paper bag. He couldn't design a pass play for a completion to save his life. He couldn't do anything right this week. Again, Washington was a fluke as far as him doing things right. Look, the first half of Denver, the game against Washington, he did okay in the first half of the Denver game. Couldn't make any adjustments. Saved his ass in the Washington game somehow. But he's my dud because he completely just useless scheme. This offensive scheme he's put in place in Chicago is, God, it's horrendous. Last year we thought we didn't have the receivers. No, it's not that we didn't have receivers last year. It's just the scheme is that terrible. Even DJ Moore's having a hard time doing well, and he's done well no matter who he's had as a quarterback. So my dud is Getsy. My stud, I'm going to go with the linebacking core in general, all three of them. Because Jack Sanborn, God damn it, he needs some love too. Sanborn has very quietly been having a really solid season in there as a starter. And I just think that linebacking core has really come a long way for the Bears this year. And really, they're the anchor point for building that defensive front next year, are those three linebackers. So those are my studs and duds. Sarah, Bear Down Mike, John, throw your studs and duds in the comments. We'll throw them on the screen. Sarah is always on the show every morning.
There she is, Mrs. Vikings herself. Congrats on the wins, Sarah.
Fans. She hangs out with them and gives some good comments. Here we go. Bear Down Mike has his stud. Hightower, special team playing is awesome. Special teams have been pretty good in Chicago this year. I mean, have we bitched about our special teams yet this year?
Nope. Jones is making smart plays.
Yeah. And then
I think the only complaint we had on special teams didn't Tyler Scott fumble in week 1 or week 2 on a kickoff or punt return?
Yeah, I think we muffed one. That was about our one complaint.
Yeah.
And Bear Down Mike, I feel you on your dud being Cody Whitehair. I think it was a little unfair to him, though, that, okay, you're going to be the guard, then you're going to be the center, then you're going to be the guard, then you're going to be the center, then you're going to be the guard. Oh, wait, we're going to use you tackle for this play. Oh, now you're the center for the next 3.
Now he's the eligible player at the fucking first and goal.
I mean, I love the fact that Cody is a dude enough to say, you know what, fuck it, coach, whatever you need, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And he tries, and he does a pretty decent job overall. But I get you there. Wait, you're not happy about which win, Sarah? The Washington win?
Sarah. You know
we
what?
only have one win.
I see Sarah when I'm on with Russell in the main event, and she's smart for a Vikings fan. But hey, a win's a win. Doesn't matter how you get it. A win's a win.
Yeah, I mean, look at Sarah. You know what? As a Vikings fan, here's what you should be happy at. Your defense actually won you a game.
And you won without Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, he's Mr. Holding Call.
You know what? You know what about Borum? I think Borum. It's not that I don't think we need to get rid of Borum. I think we need to get a guy who supplants. Well, look, he's not our normal left tackle, anyways. Right now, right? Our current left tackle's injured. Borum is a good roster guy if you're going to use him rotationally, right? He's not an every down guy. He's not a starter, but Borum has got enough flashes enough. He's a good rotational guy for when our guys come off the injured list. You know what I mean? No. Yeah.
We'll take that from you.
Let me see, Sarah. Where are you guys right now? Hold on, I can tell you if the season of the day, Sarah, you guys are. Here we go.
7.
Yeah, 7. You have pick 7 right now.
We'll trade to you. Hey, we'll trade you our number 2 pick.
No, we can give them the number 1. They can take a quarterback.
Yeah, make them better team.
I mean, well, think about it though. Like, and I know we were talking about this on main event on the day in the morning show a couple days ago. Woody, I don't think you were on that day. You know, they have a decision to make in Minnesota because Cousins does not have a contract past this year. Like, he's a free agent at the end of the year. So
he offered to take a pay cut and to not. He said something about not removing his no trade clause as well. But if he's going to be a free agent, that wouldn't matter.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll give him the number 1 for because we already know Quezzy's Quezzy. So I'll take their seventh pick overall for the number one, and I'll take the number one next year. And
But
I'm sure I can find some player on their roster that I want.
do we really want to make our own divisional team that we go against twice a year a better team by giving them our
Well, no, but we're gonna rape them in the process for that pick anyway. So it's like we're not gonna ask for a receiver because we're gonna go number two and we're gonna take Marvin Harrison Jr. But if they have a piece we want,
But yeah, Minnesota does have to make a decision because if Kirk Cousins is done, like I said, some of these young rookie quarterbacks should stay behind their starting quarterback for a season or two. What are they going to do with Kirk? Re-sign him for a year or two, which he won't take probably.
Well, I mean, I don't know where she's coming from.
He's the best quarterback in our division, hands down.
He's been worth every penny Minnesota has paid him.
Yep.
Like, how many quarterbacks can you really say when you look at their contract and you look at the player and say, yeah, that guy was worth the money they paid? Kirk is in a very small group. The guy is on for 4,000-yard passers. He's on that list of the 32 teams. He's on that list twice right now for Minnesota and Washington. The Bears have never had one.
And I think he has I think he has so far this year has the most touchdown passes, I think, of any quarterback in the league.
Yeah, bear down, Mike. It was something you said the other day in the morning at the end, and I was going to try to respond to you, and I can't remember what it was now. And then I saw you, and it jogged, and then I lost it again. Because you said something about the Bears. Maybe we were talking about the draft or something like that, and that's what it was. Bear Down Mike is on all the shows, which is great. So, well, yeah, one playoff win, but Sarah, you can't post that all on Kurt because, like, your defense has been horrendous at times.
Team sport.
You've had Kurt, and he's had no offense. He's had no other pieces around him at times. He's actually put you guys in position to win games more than you can say he's put you in a position to lose. I mean, you guys have not had a good defense in years. Yet last year he made you relevant.
All Minnesota has to do is have a good defense, and this team will gel. Their defense. Now you can't compare, against us last week, but if you have that good defense, I'm telling you, it wasn't all Kirk Cousins that you guys won that division. It wasn't all. It was a team sport.
Yep. Yeah, she said, I love the retort. He had Diggs, Thielen, Cook, JJ. Did he? I don't think he had Diggs and Thielen together because Diggs and Thielen was the playoff year.
That was the Casey. That was the Keenum.
Yeah, Diggs bolted. He never had Diggs. He had Thielen with JJ and did well last year. And now he doesn't have Thielen, but I mean, he never had Diggs. Diggs was in Buffalo by the time Kirk got there. But he's had no defense. So, Sarah, even though when they're putting up offensive numbers, then your defense completely, like your defense in that playoff game last year, might as well just said, hey, New York, here's the end zone. Would you like front row? Should I bring you a drink? I mean, they were bad. They were bad.
Especially at home.
I don't think he had Diggs. She said he had Diggs. I thought Diggs was gone right after. Maybe he had him for 1 year. Maybe he had Diggs for a year. But the problem with Minnesota has been this. They never had a team since he's been there where the offense and the defense were both good at the same time. It's always been one's carried the other.
Yeah, he was a Viking from 2015 to 2019.
Yeah. And Cousins got there what, in 19?
Let me see. Hold on. Cousins was there from so yeah, he did have him for a year.
Yeah, 1 year.
And that was the year Casey, Keenum came on and that catch against New Orleans Saints. That really
the miracle in Minnesota.
Yep. Absolutely.
So yeah, but Minnesota is gonna, I don't know if I trade Minnesota the number 1 pick, and like
No.
you said, would you make someone in our division better?
No.
I think I make that trade to the Raiders, maybe.
Arizona?
I think Arizona. Well, hold on. Let me look at this again. At the draft end of the day, let's look at this again.
Well, I don't think
The
Denver's
Broncos
gonna
aren't going to. You want? They're not going to move up to number 1.
Nope.
Um,
Giants, no.
no. Patriots, no.
Titans, Tannehill's getting up there. Green Bay, no. And Chargers, no.
I could see the Cardinals or the Titans wanting to move up.
Yep.
I can see leveraging to get the Broncos to move up to flip 1 for 3. Saying, well, if you don't, Arizona will, and then you're not going to get the quarterback you want. That's the only way I see the Broncos going up. If they think the Bears are poised to make a deal with the Cardinals or the Titans, and then they're not going to get, and they think that would say Caleb's the guy, and they want Caleb, and if they think Arizona's going to jump to 1 to get Caleb, then I think the Broncos, we could get a bidding war between like the Broncos and the Cardinals. Because I don't want to trade out of the top 10, I don't think.
No.
I think I want to take the number 2 pick and spend it on Marvin Harrison Jr. And I want to take, whether it be the 3, the 4, or the 8, right? And I want to get defensive edge.
And they have another stud from Ohio State, JT. He's a hell of an edge rusher. So imagine us taking our first 2 picks from Ohio State.
Well, bear down Mike doesn't make, look at, trade the first round pick for Crosby. Okay, look, we just got DJ Moore, who'd probably be the equivalent of a Crosby, offensively speaking, maybe. Yeah, it might be a stretch. But depending, if the Raiders would say if their pick is around 12 or 13, you might be able to say, hey, look, we'll let you get your quarterback in the future, but you're going to give us the Crosby now. I don't know if we make that trade.
He's only 26 years old.
Yeah, but he'll be 27, so he's going to be a little too old for Poles. Poles doesn't like guys when they're over 26.
That's right. Average 25 years old. I forgot.
Yeah, he doesn't like to bring them in that old. But what's Crosby's contract? What's his situation? His contract situation. If there's enough team control for, say, 2 or 3 years, I don't know if the Raiders give him up to get their guy, but if they can get their guy at number 1 for their quarterback of the future, maybe.
Yeah, he signed a 4-year, $94 million contract last year.
So you're going to have 3 years left. And how big was that contract? 94?
94 million, $13 million signing bonus.
So he's going to have roughly, 65 million or so left on it?
Yeah, 53 million guaranteed.
Yeah, so it's a pipe dream, but that look at. I think though that's what Poles is going to try to do, something like that, Mike. He did. He's going to leverage that number 1 pick for something like that again. And if we stay as it is and we own 1 and 2, we're like, someone take number 1, get this damn quarterback off our hands, so we can take Marvin Harrison Jr. number 2, and then we'll take a defensive edge later. I really think that's the way it's shaping up.
Yep.
Yeah. Sarah, that almost sounds wrong, so I'm not going to read it out loud.
I have nipples, Mike. Would you milk me?
I think Sarah just wins a quote of the night right there.
Wow.
Oh, that's good. Steve says that the Bears will take a QB, then they trade. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an offensive tackle though, Steve. No, I'll disagree with you there. I think it's defensive. They're going DT.
Yeah.
And if you could do what Mike says is a pipe dream, if you can trade back from number 1 and get a guy like Crosby and then draft another DT with your 2 young guys you drafted in the interior this year, all of a sudden you've got a new defensive line that might actually be something.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, here's a legit question. I think we talked a little bit, but Sarah wants to know, are we keeping Fields? So, Woody, I'll let you start this off, and then we'll go to Mike, then me, and anyone else in the comments if you got a feeling.
Like I said, it depends on I think we keep him. Wow, that's a tough question. Like I said, he's injured now. We'll see how he is after the injury coming back. See how he runs the game. Like hopefully he runs it against like he did against Denver and Washington. But I think we keep him, really.
Mike?
Yeah, I don't think we get rid of him either. I say we keep him.
Yeah, I think we're committed, and I think we've seen, like in the Denver and Washington game specifically, you see the guy has the talent. He put the ball on the dime 40 yards down the field. He's made some throws. He's shown you. I think really the failure isn't on the player in this case. It's on the offensive scheme and the play call. I don't see us walking away from Fields. His upside is too much, and he's not unlike Caleb Williams. He's not demanding part ownership of the team either.
Oh Jesus!
So yeah, this is an interesting comment from Sarah.
To answer Sarah's question, though, yes, we will be milking Justin Fields.
I mean Josh Daniels.
Well, I'm just saying,
yeah.
Justin Fields. Carolina gets their first round pick back so we can trade with them for the first overall.
Yeah, but Sarah, what's Carolina giving us to get that first round pick back?
They can't afford it.
Can't afford it.
Nope.
I mean, what are you going to give me? And I don't think they're going to want to trade pieces now. They're in gathering. Now, that'd be interesting, though. Has a team ever traded away their first round pick 1 year only to trade back and get their pick back, before the draft? I don't know if that's ever happened. All right. Trading for Brian Burns.
Well, when was the last time somebody actually got the 1-2?
I think it was Cleveland. I forget what year it was, but I know it was Cleveland. No, it wasn't Cleveland. I think it was never 1 and 2. I think Cleveland had maybe 1 and 3 or 1 and 4.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a 1-2.
Yeah.
So that's their question. If they're, but I think though if they fire Flus and go with the new head coach, I think part of it it's gonna be like this. What are you doing to make Fields better? Is part of the process again. And I think Poles is. Someone, if you don't think I'm right, let me know. I think Poles has nailed the last 2 drafts.
Yep,
I agree.
Yep.
And so when it comes to talent, I trust Poles more than I trust any Bears GM since George Halas himself. Really, I think he's got an eye for talent. We've never. You can say what you want about Claypool. The kid's got talent, and the only reason he's out of Chicago is because he spoke the truth about the coaching staff. And you don't do that in the NFL. So got that. But I mean, I think even if we have a new head coach, man, I think that what are you going to do to make Fields better? Because he sees the talent. So if it's Ben Johnson, that's interesting. Yeah, Kevin Warren, trust that guy too, man. So far. So I think the brain trust is fine as far as the management side of our house. I think it's the coaching side. And actually, I don't even think Flus is a terrible, terrible head coach. It's just that he's got to do something about his OC. The defense has improved under his mentorship and guidance. And also, he's got to make better judgment calls, Flus does. Because a couple of these fourth and ones he shouldn't have gone for. I mean, I almost think you could fire him just for that. But I don't know. Sarah says Claypool is lazy. But, man, the kid got talent when he wants to use it.
Yep. Because after he was called lazy, that next game, he was blocking. He was doing everything he was supposed to do.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. and week 1, and after week 1, he came out and said, yeah, I played like shit. And then he came out and he was like, whoa. Had a nice touchdown catch and everything. Eberflus lies to me. Okay, find me a head coach in the NFL that does not lie to the media.
Well, Belichick doesn't talk. Yeah.
We're already looking at next week's game.
Yeah.
We're already looking at next week's game.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's not true, Woody. He has talked this year. He did give one of the biggest comments he's ever given as a coach when he talked about Travis Kelce dating Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I think that was the most animated I've ever
Yeah.
seen Belichick at a press conference.
Yeah. Her.
Yeah, Sarah, we were talking about that earlier. I mean, he's trash.
No adjustments. When you have eight in the box and you only have 5 offensive linemen and no audible and no nothing, you're gonna get a sack every time.
Hey, Sarah, you know what? If ROC was a smart man, he would watch this program because Rob came on here and called it.
Yep. Yepper, he did.
So yeah, I really don't know. He hasn't said anything about anything bad about Fields, though, has he, Mike? I don't think he has.
Not that
I mean, universally, I think a lot of players and coaches around the league think Fields is, can be the guy. What they won't say is what Claypool did say. The coaching sucks.
Yep. Just like Lamar did when his first year. He was a running quarterback and he got reamed out about it. And what did he do? Second year, threw the ball, MVP.
I mean, everyone's praised Justin except for the Bears fan base or portions of it.
Yep.
There's another podcast I watched last week where the host, I won't say their name. I don't want to play those games,
Yeah,
I will say
my fans.
Yeah, they were lauding how Fields is gone. Badgin's the future. Get rid of Fields. He's trash. He's garbage. He's terrible. Blah blah blah. No, he's not. I mean, our opponent fan bases are, the Packer fans, the Lions fans, they'll talk trash about Fields because, well, they're supposed to talk trash about Fields, right? I mean, that's the nature of the game. But everyone that plays the game or knows something about the game, I'll say the same thing about Fields. Ooh.
Well, they're going to trade you. Well, his contract will be over. I'll say,
No,
hey,
free agent.
So Mac Jones can go to Minnesota. That'll be swell.
Yeah, Sarah, what do you think about Mac Jones? That would be interesting.
Woo!
That would be interesting. I think Kurt's going to end up somewhere. If Minnesota doesn't give him a contract, he's going to go somewhere and he's going to win.
Yep. I think all the Bears, some of the Bears fans are trashing Justin Fields because they're only looking at one thing, his fucking record. That's all they're looking at is their record.
Steve, I don't think it's a question of what Fields has to do. I think Woody just kind of answered that a little bit, but I mean, it's at this point, I don't think it's the players, it's the coaching. And you have to acknowledge that because we've seen Fields do some shit. I mean, okay, so maybe do we tell Justin, hey, dude, just gunsling it like Jay Cutler, just let it rip, and you throw 53 interceptions, so be it. Is that what we tell Fields at this point? I mean, I don't. I mean, there's what else can you expect the guy to do to survive? Sarah, hell no, we're not taking Mac Jones. So, Sarah, if you had the opportunity to get Justin Fields, would you take Justin Fields in Minnesota?
Oh, imagine him. It's like him and JJ. My God.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, see what Sarah says in that one.
I think the only downfall of Minnesota's offense is their running game. They have a good tight end if he catches the ball. You got two great receivers. I mean, Justin Jefferson, and then Addison's coming up. He had a touchdown on Sunday, and Osborne didn't drop any balls on Sunday.
Sarah says no, she wouldn't want Justin Fields.
Sarah, come on to the show, will you? Come on.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you're doing another podcast either, like you did with Russell and when I was on.
Yeah, let's talk, Sarah. Get on here.
Yeah, get on.
Oh, okay. Wait. This might be your reason because his rookie contract is running out. Okay. Well, I can understand because you don't want to pay them a boatload of money and not know if it's going to work. I get that. All right, but if you got them for the right price there, I'm sure you'd be okay then. I think you would immediately improve your run game. We know he can throw the ball. Yeah, with Justin Jefferson, oh my God,
he's very mobile. And look what Culpepper did with the Vikings.
yeah.
Very mobile. Randall Cunningham, remember that? Well, Sarah's probably too young for that, but they need a mobile quarterback too. Like I said, I wanted Bears to have a mobile quarterback. We had before Justin Fields? Who we had? Well, we got Mitch, but then Cordell Stewart.
So, yeah, he was about goddamn. When was Cordell? That was
right after Pittsburgh, I think, when he was on it.
Yeah, he came. That was pre-Cutler days, right?
Yep.
We're talking 2003, 4.
Let me see here. Cordell.
Jay could be mobile at times, but he wasn't mobile like we think of a mobile quarterback. He was still a pocket quarterback, but if Cutler wanted to move, he could move.
He was in Chicago, 2003.
Yeah. Okay, so you got some big They got some big, yeah. And look at Sarah. Okay, I understand Sarah why she wouldn't want more because here's the thing too, is they are in cap hell in Minnesota right now, and they got some big contracts to dole out here. So I get it. But contract notwithstanding, though, Sarah, if you could have Fields, you would probably take him. Oh, look, they get interesting. These guys find ways to make money appear, don't they?
$20 million.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Mike. Somebody said it. My favorite Bears quarterback of all time, Jim Harbaugh. Let's go. Bring him to town. Can't get much worse.
Every year this comes up.
I know. But yeah, my number one is Ben Johnson. That would be great. But to have an ex-Bear, Jim Harbaugh, try it out. Can't get no much worse.
I think, then we finally have a good offensive coach, then we just got to get a good DC.
Right.
So, okay. So would this be a good scenario? Hire Harbaugh as head coach. Lovie Smith becomes the DC.
Super Bowl. Championship.
Who's the OC, though? Because you can't – technically you still need one.
Eric Bieniemy.
You think he'd really do that?
Oh, I'm just saying it's a pipe dream.
Yeah.
Either that or have Bieniemy as a coach too. I don't know why he's veering away from being a coach. He wants to be the offensive coordinator. No to penis, injury prone.
And we lost Mike somehow.
Yeah, he said he has to go. So do I soon.
All right. Well, hey, let's look. We've actually gone a little bit over an hour today.
Yep.
So I'll close this out here.
Gotcha.
Guys, as always, enjoy. Okay, yeah, Mike. For those who don't know, Mike's been sick. He actually had to go take a trip to the place where professional medical workers go, and they had to hook him up in some sweet IV bags.
And then he was on the porcelain. He was on the porcelain throne a lot, so he was king of the day a couple days.
Yeah. So hopefully, Mike will feel better. Guys, we'll do some house cleaning here real quick before we go. We're almost to the 10K. Get us to the 10K, guys. We're going to do a big free giveaway for the 10K. So about 400 or 500 more people, I think, and we're there. And that's on the Halas Hall Report, Mike the Bear fan page. Please, sign up, become a top fan, win more merch. We're going to be doing some of that. We're here every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central, every Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Central for the pregame, and then we'll have the game itself on a different thread at when that's on. Don't forget to support every morning, weekdays, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so 10 a.m. Central. NFC North main event football talk. We see folks like Sarah and Mike on there making comments all the time. So thank you guys for supporting those shows. And let's hope that we do something better Sunday. I don't expect much. Woody?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I compare the Raiders to Minnesota, subtract their starting quarterback. So could have a chance, but I don't know. No idea.
So I'm hoping I find the right intro. There it is. So guys, on behalf of Mike, Woody, myself, have a great rest of the week. Stay warm for those of you in those cold weather states. While we survive winter down here in Florida, I might have to wear socks to my sandals tomorrow.
Fuck off.
Be safe. We'll see you all Sunday and bear down.
Bear down.
All right. Well, hey, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, on Facebook at Mike the Bear Fan, Halas Hall Report. We appreciate you guys. Hope you guys stay warm. Sarah, she said, "Oi, it's freezing here." Yeah, it's going to be that time of year. Hey, it's NFC North football, but enjoy you guys being out here, and we'll see you guys Sunday. Enjoy. Tell your friends to come visit with us. Love having you guys here. Take it easy. Bear down.